So good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all the attendees of this session, and let me have the privilege to introduce the speakers of the day. We have with us Dr. Vijay Kumar, Professor and Deputy Dean, School of Education, Lovely Professional University. He has 20 years of experience in the field of education. His researches are focused in the areas like emotional intelligence, self-regulated learning strategies, socially disadvantaged groups, bullying, teachers' self-efficacy, effectiveness, academic monitoring, and motivation. He has taught courses like educational research and statistics, measurement and evaluation, educational technology, pedagogy of social science and education management, and applications of SPSS. He has guided more than 75 master dissertations and 7 PhD theses. He has published 116 research papers in journals and books, edited 3 books as well. He has presented 35 papers in national and international conferences, and a whole lot of experience that he has along with it. I welcome you, sir. We also have with us one of our distinguished international guests, Mr. Benjani Nairinda. He's an education specialist. He is an education specialist with 10 years of experience working in Malawi. He has worked as a regulator for technical and vocational education and has developed programs in TVET, adult learning, in-service training, and more. He has also hosted webinars, online panel discussions, and developed an e-recruitment platform for TVET sector in Malawi. He has represented Malawi at educational events in South Africa, Zambia, Australia, and India as well. He's passionate about educational reform in Malawi, and the vision is an education system that is open to all and bring out the full potential of every child. I welcome you, sir. We also have with us Mr. Pankaj Vij, Head, Department of Tie-ups, Division of Admissions, Lovely Professional University. He holds a master's degree in management and has a keen area of interest in training and development. He'll be talking about the scholarship. He's the guy who's going to save your money in the form of scholarships, and he'll be talking about some of the infrastructure part as well. So it's now over to Dr. Vijay Kumar for his part of the presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. We are going to have our session on the Masters in Education, and as Dr. Rishi has already introduced that the department that I am heading, that is Department of Education, and we are having different programs, but as we are in the era of EdTech, so here in introduction that how we are aligning with the 21st century, which is going to be the EdTech century. So if I just give you a background of this information, the EdTech companies had grown phenomenally in the last 2-3 years. If we can compare from the last 2-3 years after the COVID, we have seen there is a lot of increase in the investment in the EdTech companies. The Indian EdTech market has increased to 3.5 billion, and the number of users that have increased are 90 million from the last figure of 45 million. And as a result of the further expansion of the infrastructure, the wireless internet subscriber has increased to 665 million. 50% time of the people had increased in terms of time on the internet, that is 90 minutes per average time of the individuals, and most of the time it is 83% paid when we are going into in terms of the unicorns. And if we go into consideration, all of you are knowing about the Baiju, Unacademy, Vedanto, Topper, Textbook.com. Now, these are some of the well-known companies which are there and in which all of our students have already pitched in and are being employed in by these companies. The edtech company are increasing and there are going to be more and more mergers which are there, and as a result we are presently having 3.35 billion acquisitions going on in 2021 only. And as it is, if we talk about the in the year 2021 till last year figures, before, when the pandemic was near to over, the number of deals were about 75, which has increased from 41, which was in 2017. And if we talk about in terms of amount, from $191 million, the figure has reached to $3,772 million. Now, this is the things that are coming up, that edtech is going to be the future, and how we in education has to go with it, that we need to work in that direction. So edtech boom in the time is coming up in the is very big. It is going to be a catalyst of the education industry, because the massive online courses, open online courses, and the distance education and the online education, that is the focus of the present government bodies. If I talk about the UGC, the number of courses that are being allowed, either the two degrees are allowed by the UGC, one in online education, another one in distance education or in regular mode, or two regular degree can be possible. So these the combinations will be coming up. But yes, the online education has given a new catalyst to the edtech boom, and this boom is going to make more digitization. It is going to create more number of startups with the e-learning platforms, and as a result we will be seeing there will be more companies coming up from the likes, that is from the education industry. If I talk about the one of the viewpoints of from the education industry, that is schools, the schools are going to be dominated by the edtech space. This is the viewpoint of the principals and the administrators of very highly reputed good schools. Now this is coming up one experience that I was showing you as a background, but now coming to the university, in the last 2 3 years when the pandemic was there after 2020, we were finding that the schools and colleges were closed, but our university was open. We have never stopped learning. Our classes were going on online with the help of the my class software, and also the other online platforms which are there on Google Meet, like that. We have been able to cultivate the online teaching skills among the learners, which has resulted into their employment in these edtech companies. We are making them skilled in creating their videos, in creating the contents, in creating the learning in the online fashion, how to engage the learners, how to give the assignments to the learner in the online space.
Chechi, I think you are not audible.
Hello.
Professor Pankaj, can you help me out? Is Dr. Chechi audible?
Yes, Professor Rishi. Dr. Saab is audible. He's audible.
Right. Thank you, sir. So coming to the similar learnings, the virtual collaborations were done with the help of the edtech tools. The students had created their own videos on documentaries, on dramas. Rishi sir, is it okay?
I think you are not audible to me.
You can increase your volume. I think if that may help, because the network is okay from my side.
Probably it's not audible to you, but overall it's quite audible.
All right, so I will continue, sir. So the students used different softwares for editing their videos, for creating their movies, etc. And The students have learned online the softwares on SPSS, on Fedina, on Google Forms, G-Power, and used their statistical techniques by using these softwares. Further, the students have been engaged with the different kind of NGOs and were able to do the community projects, workshops, tours, etc., and live projects. There were PEHL, there were Rural Development Society, Goonj, then the EduMust, then the Department of Government of Punjab was also there, with which the tie-up has been there. Then the regular seminars, conferences, and workshops were the feature of the department in the even during the COVID period. Our infrastructure is well groomed, of world class. You will be finding it from the point of view of the computer labs, language lab, yoga lab, psychology resource center, science and math resource center, research resource center, educational technology, ICT resource center, etc. Apart from that, if we go into the library along with the physical books, you will be able to access to different databases that includes JGate, EBSCO, Jester, Springer, EPWRF, and with which you will be able to subscribe lot many research journals, ebooks, and along with the physical books that are available in the library, that are 26,540 in number, 16 journals, 7 newspapers, 1 weekly newspaper, and with a capacity sitting of 100, along with the digital section, which will you can use for the searching of the dissertations that are there in the library, and along with the other databases that you want to search if you don't come with the laptops. Now, coming with the brief statistics, the department was established in 2003. Now, in the last 2-3 years, we have been able to qualify 300 plus CTET asset qualified students. 300 plus students were placed in the government jobs. 400 plus internship case studies were conducted. 20 plus conference and workshops were conducted. 225 plus research publications in the Scopus and UGC care listed journals were done by the students. 75 plus PhD scholars are presently doing the PhDs. 50 plus international students had been there in the department since its inception. 7,000 plus graduate students were there, and 200 plus live projects have been done by the students. These were our star alumni, those who have already joined the EdTech companies and have been working there in the different EdTech companies like Vedantu, Unacademy, Topper, Byju's, Textbook.com, Stones to Milestones, SwiftLearn, etc. If I talk about the UGC net, which is the focus after the master's program, that somebody want to go for the government teaching and they apply for the government jobs. So these are the students, those who have qualified the UGC net. Some of the last 3 are of this passing out batch only, those who have qualified 2022, these students. Then if I talk about the rankings, our university has been ranked 3rd by the Atal Ranki Institution on Innovation Achievement. Similarly, in the Times Higher Education ranking, we have been among the top 200 and 2nd in India. If I talk about the NRF ranking, LPU is ranked among the top 100 Indian universities and colleges. By Z ranking, we are the 11th best in terms of placements. The department has the vision that we want to become an internationally renowned top ranking teacher education school for providing outcome based, research oriented education along with the competencies to develop higher order thinking, life skills, and entrepreneurship to groom global professionals with the capacity for transformational leadership. The mission that will transform this vision will be to prepare competent global educators and teacher educators trainers through pedagogical innovation, internships, and industry collaboration to ensure that they are capable of appropriately instructing, mentoring, and motivating students in a multicultural environment. To train educators to develop higher order thinking and delivering outcome based education, to build research capabilities, to address contemporary issues of teaching learning through impactful projects and dissertations, then incorporating digital technology in the teaching learning process through the use of software for presentations and research. Finally, we want to groom transformational leaders and edupreneurs through activities and opportunities aimed at holistic development. The department has the recognitions and memberships from different bodies. We are NCT governed and NCT recognized programs. We are having the membership of GERA, AIAER, and also the Indian Science Congress. The programs that are being offered at the School of Education include after 10+2, be integrated BA, BEd, BSc, BEd, after graduation, BEd, then after post-graduation, you have integrated BEd, MEd, MEd, MA education, and PhD. The core strengths of the department include the focus on technology usage to make graduates future ready, particularly for e-learning industry, exposure to softwares for research and school management, curriculums of postgraduate programs mapped with the UGC net, curriculum of the graduate programs mapped with the CTET and STET, special courses and training sessions to prepare graduates for state and center teacher eligibility exams, active assistance for arranging internships with stipend and placements, avoid active guidance to facilitate research publications by the students. The courses on EdTech profiles, and I have shared with the EdTech Times, instructional designing, workshop on e-content development, e-learning resource development are some of the courses which will make the students ready for the EdTech profiles. Then at present, we have the industrial tie-up with the TREL on story writing and video production skills. After doing the program at the Department of Education, different careers that are at exploration include teaching in schools and colleges, online educators, becoming instructional designers, content writers, storyboard writers, educational consultant, YouTuber, test developer, textbook writer, etc. If I talk about the placement, we have been able to achieve the 5 lakh bracket in terms of highest salary package. Our students have been able to get the 15,000 monthly internship stipend during their 6-month internships. Then 10+ students were working in the EdTech companies. 20+ students are on the OJT of the present batch. The alumni who are working as assistant professors after graduating from the master's program include these, some of those of different states in the government as well as in private sector. If I talk about the research, at present 75+ students, PhD scholars are working in the department. 225 research paper publications have been achieved. 400+ internship case studies and action research have been done by the students. 20+ conferences and workshops were conducted by the department. Then 2 patents have been granted to the department. These are the glimpses of the research and innovation. One of my article has been published by the American Educational Research Association special focused SSRL Times Magazine publication. Then these are another glimpses of the seminars and the conferences that have been conducted by the department, along with the workshop on data analysis on SPSS, then the vaccine patent that have been granted. We have the diverse community of students from 25+ states and 10+ countries at the department level. These are the glimpses of the foreign students participating in different events of the department. If I talk about the success stories of the 2022 of the present batch, from the BEd program, 15 students have qualified CTET, those who have appeared, BA BSc 10, BEd MEd 3. Now this was translating into 80% of the students, those who have appeared, qualified the test. Then UGC net students, 6 students have qualified 100%. All those students, those who have appeared for UGC net during the program, had qualified the UGC net exam. These were the star alumni who are working as principals in different organizations and have been awarded by the government and the state government as well as the national government, and have been awarded by many agencies. Now talking about the school is very active on the social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on the YouTube. You can go and see the social media of the school, and you will be finding very active social media handles of the department. I hope you will be visiting them to have a latest update of the department. So with this, I thank you. If you had any questions, we will be taking them that also. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. It was wonderful watching you talking on the tech boom, the Lumina details, and various programs that you are offering, and of course the LPU rankings as well. So that was very, very insightful. Thank you so much. And I would request all the attendees to come up with the queries. In case you have any queries, please put them in the Q&A box that's available. And meanwhile, I would request Dr. Vijay Kumar to call the external guest and try to share his wisdom with the attendees and what all inputs, if he has some to share with us, can be taken up. Hi, Mr. Benjani Narinda. How are you? Sir, you need to unmute yourself. Need to unmute.
I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. Anyway, I'm very fine. How are you, Professor Rishi? And everyone else?
All well.
Yes, Benjani, we are all well. So we are just waiting for you to have an interaction with us. So our audience want to listen to you that why do you join LPU for the program your master's program?
All right. Thank you so much, Vijay sir. It's good to see you again, as well as everybody else. I joined LPU in 2018 to study for my master's in education, focusing on leadership and management. And actually, the reason why we came to LPU is that LPU was identified by our government, the government of Malawi. I was part of a government scholarship program. So when we were coming to LPU, it's because LPU made such a strong impression on our government, not just us as individuals, but even nationally, our government was very impressed with LPU, with the facilities and with the system there. So before we came to the university, a team of government officials actually came to LPU to look at the infrastructure, to look at the setup of the university. So they were very impressed with it, and it was chosen as the ideal place for us to do our postgraduate training. So I was in a group of around 28 Malawians, and we really enjoyed our time there. We were there for 2 years, and we were the first group of government scholars to come to LPU. But based on our experience, our government did commit to send more and more Malawian students to LPU because it's considered a center of excellence for postgraduate training. Well, just basically training in all different regards. So even now, I'm sure that there are some other government scholars who are also conducting their program at LPU, but that's how we came to be there. Thank you.
Right, Benjani. So you have given a very detailed explanation to the why you came to LPU, why you choose LPU for your masters. But after joining, how do you feel like that? What was the 2-year journey like? How you felt like the program that was you have joined in? Your
Okay.
experiences.
Thank you. Yes, the experience was quite good. We learned so much during our time in LPU from the different teachers that were there, also from just being in India. I think India, in terms of its setup and its culture, is very different from our home country, Malawi. So it was very interesting to see the setup of the education system in India and to also draw lessons from that. Our journey, well, we were received very well. The university also provided us with transportation to pick us up from the airport. And the university also helped us with all of the registration procedures, setting up our FROs, finding accommodation and the like. Of course, I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit difficult for us to do all of those different things, but we did have the support of the university. And that's one thing which was really good. And to talk about our experiences in the School of Education, we received so much support. There's one experience which I always go back to. In our class, we had a very diverse setup. So we had, I think, 6 or 7 countries in our class. There was India, Malawi, Nigeria, Somalia, Afghanistan, and Bhutan, I think. So there were 6 countries. But we received so much support. I remember Vijay sir, through your office, you even organized Hindi lessons for us at some point after we started talking about wanting to learn the language. So through your office and through, I think it was Preeti ma'am, yeah, you actually developed lessons for us to learn some basic Hindi, and yeah, those were also quite interesting. They made our stay much more. They made our stay much better at the university. Also, to go outside of the department, even the head of school, I think Dr. PP Singh, would always come into our classes, always check. He would always move around the different classes and always check to see how learning is going on, if we're having any challenges. And there was a lot of support from the university. And in terms of learning experiences, we had classroom learning, we had different assignments, different projects. We even did a very short internship at different schools throughout Jalanda and Fagwara. So that was also great because it gave us practical experience, practical knowledge on what the education sector was like. Besides that, there were also a lot of festivals. You know, LPU is a very lively campus. So there were festivals and activities that we were involved in. So yeah, it was a very diverse experience. It wasn't just focused on learning in the classroom, but there were a lot of different experiences that also give us practical knowledge on the ground. So those are some of the things that I really appreciate. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Pinjani, for enlightening the audience regarding the experiences that you had with respect to the administrative as well as the academic arrangements that you have seen at the university. Also, I would like to have one specific query that what special inputs do you think uh, have been there in your program that you still remember are helping you in your career?
Okay. First of all, I think I've mentioned it previously, but I think that the teachers and yeah, the teaching staff were very supportive. I mean, up to the point that even now, despite the fact that I graduated 2 years ago, we're still talking and we're still interacting. So the teachers were very good at creating a good relationship with us. As I said, our class was very diverse. Maybe it was one of the most diverse classes at LPU. And you had people from different countries, but also people from different age groups. A lot of us were people who had been working in different government sectors. So some people were even much older than the standard classes that would usually be there. So you're also dealing with different age groups. But the teachers were so good at creating a good connection with us. They were always very helpful, very supportive, and they made life very interesting. So that's one of the major things. Another thing is, for me personally, I think the university management system, UMS, was very detailed, and it made tracking different things so easy. It's one of the things that I was most impressed by at LPU, and I think that even in my own career coming back, it motivated me to invest more in the technological side of education, as you were talking about previously. So those were some of the things that really stood out to me. And I think that our class in our final year, that's when the COVID pandemic hit, and it disrupted a lot of things. But one thing that I remember being impressed by was the speed at which everything was adjusted. So the university came up with an online learning system very quickly. Our teachers oriented us very quickly, and we were able to continue with our lessons. We were able to finish writing our examinations. So of course, it was a very big adjustment, but it's an adjustment which I feel was handled successfully. And it also taught us a lot of lessons about how we should also manage our educational systems. And as I also said previously, Another special input was that the education and the learning was diverse. We had classroom sessions, we had guest lectures, we went out for projects. Yeah, we did our mini internships as well. We also had placement within the university. That's one of the experiences that I really enjoyed, because in our class we had to learn about management and leadership. So one of the things is we were attached to different HODs and different officials throughout the university. I remember at my time I was attached to Dr. P.P. Singh, and it really helped us to learn about what it takes to manage a school at that level, not just the teaching and learning side, but also the administrative side and the things that happen behind the scenes. So I feel like those experiences also added a lot of value to our learning experience. Yeah.
Penjani, going on a lighter note, please share your happy memory at 2-3 incidents related that you still enjoy, and on your personal note, if you want to really share about that.
Yeah, there are a number of them. Yeah, definitely. As I said, LPU was it was a large campus and there were always different things going on. I think that for me, one of the activities that really stood out in my mind was participating in One India, One World. I participated twice, both years that I was there at LPU. And it was very interesting because we really got to see the cultural diversity at the university. And it was also a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, I'm not going to lie, but one of the things that I appreciated was that we as international students, like ourselves from Malawi, we weren't just left alone to do everything on its own. The university paired us, I think, with the School of Engineering. So we're working with School of Engineering students. And there was also a small budget that was given for us to purchase different materials to make our stand lively. So there was a good amount of investment. And we had a really good time taking pictures with some of our lecturers and fellow students. So that was very interesting. Besides that, I think another very good experience for me was I was privileged to be part of the honor roll. I got an honor roll certificate while I was at LPU. And this was also because of the good work of the teachers and all of the support that we got. So being awarded that by, I think it was the Chancellor of the university himself and the rest of the team, that was also a very good high point in the time that I was at LPU. Also, as I said previously, the placement activity, I think the placement activity also left a mark on me. I was attached to a school within Fagwara, and going to that school and being a teacher for a short time at that school, also it was a really, really good experience, and it taught me so much as well. Outside of university activities, one of the things that I liked was I made a lot of good friends while I was at LPU, and we got to travel around quite a lot. We went to Himachal Pradesh, I went to Pune, I went to Kashmir, I went to all these different places, and it was very interesting. India is a very diverse country. Yeah, so yeah, those were some of my good experiences while I was in India. Yeah, thank you.
Nice talking to you, Penjani. Rishi sir, if any questions from your side to Penjani?
Thank you. It was very, very interesting to hear Penjani, and you spoke very well. Thank you so much. And we have Bablu Kumar. He has some query. Bablu, I have given you the rights. Please put in your query, unmute yourself, and talk to the experts directly. You have a query regarding UPSC preparation. Bablu, can you hear me? Please unmute.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Bablu, please ask the question.
Sir,
Bablu?
my question is, hello, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Carry on, Bablu. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am from Bihar and I am a student of BA Part 1, and I want to preparation for UPSC.
Dr. Vijay, can you help him out?
Yes, Bablu, though I am from education, but I can still guide you for the UPSC exam, because if you go for the BA honors program at LPU, and you will be definitely going with the UPSC, because that is the civil services pathway, and that civil services pathway will enable you to go for your aptitude test, go for your current affairs, and also the preliminary exams or preliminary the papers that are there at the UPSC preparation stage 1. So for that you will be amply given the practice as well as the guidance. So if you will be going for that, that definitely you will be get a lot of help to cover the UPSC syllabus, and will prepare yourself to appear in that.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
sir.
Dr. Vijay. And I could move on to the next query that is from Garima. Uh, what is the best way to go to select the specializations that we offer? On what basis we select the specializations in this field? Dr. Chechi?
Not hear you properly. Can you repeat?
Yeah. So Garima wants to know on what basis we can go for specialization selection. There are various specializations that we are offering. In case we are offering, then on what basis should we select a specialization?
He's asking for which program?
It's going for B.Ed. B.Ed.
B.Ed. Yes, Garima, your specialization will be based on your background qualification. That is your graduation or post-graduation. Now, if you have gone with humanities background, so you will be given the courses depending upon that. But if you will be coming from the sciences, then you will be trained for teaching of the sciences subjects. So it's all your specialization will depend upon that, your background qualification. If you are coming from a commerce background, definitely you will be trained to go for the commerce teaching only.
Wonderful.
I think that's the, but more detail if you want, so you can always call the admission counselor, and he will be talking to you and will ask about your background qualification, and depending upon that will guide you which will be the specializations that will be offered to you depending upon your qualifications.
Uh, Next question is coming from Nitin. He wants to know what extra skills we need to acquire in case we need to have a better place in the industry.
Yes, that's a very nice question. Dear Nitin, we, apart from the program, if you are going for either B.Ed or the M.Ed program, the things that we expect that we are training you for is basically that not only just the teaching profile, you must be trained in order to handle the children or the adults from socio-emotional aspect. We will be training you for different softwares on school management if I talk about the B.Ed program, and if I talk about the M.Ed, you will be trained to do the data analysis. That is through different software, that is the SPSS, statistical package for social sciences, which help you to analyze the data. And also if I talk about the B.Ed program, you will be given training to create different type of assessment criterias, either in the form of a rubric or in the form of an achievement test, or the quiz or the multiple choice questions, or we talk about in terms of a full format subjective paper based on the different Bloom's taxonomy questions and levels. So these are the some of the skills. And if we talk about these specific placements, the this present batch, we have already achieved the 40,000 target per month salary by our students. And similarly, what they have gone for to train them into like that, that is the placement sessions. If we have been going through placement sessions, you will be learning how to communicate, your CV preparation, your the preparation for the questions, interview skills, your resume building, your presentation skills. All these will be improved as a result of attending the PEP sessions, and that will enhance your personality. That will be your video resume, your lesson planning, your writing of lesson plans, the handling of the students. So these all things will be, you are trained for at LPU for that, so that you will be having a good placement after the completion of the program. I think
Thank you so
that's
much,
sufficient.
Doctor. It was really, really informative, and I hope that Nitin's query is well answered. And now I quickly move on to Mr. Pankaj Vij, who is going to save money for all the attendees. He's going to talk about the scholarships that we are offering. He's going to talk about the way to see and scroll our website. We'll be talking about the infrastructure as well. Over to Mr. Pankaj Vij.
Right. Thank you, Professor Rishi. And it was great to listen to our experts, Dr. Vijay Chechi and the alumni of the international alumni of the university, coming from Malawi. Malawi, it's a beautiful country. I've been to Lilongwe. Lilongwe is a beautiful city, and Malawi itself is a beautiful country. Anyhow, so let me just go ahead. I would like to share with all the attendees over here that LPU is not only known for creating academicians, or it's not only known for creating researchers, but we are also now into creating sports people of repute worldwide. So the year was 2020 when the Tokyo Olympics had to happen, but did not happen owing to the pandemic thing. But they were postponed to 2021, and quite a few of our students participated over there, and they represented the country. They brought laurels to the country. They brought laurels to the university, to the state itself, and you name people like Bajrang Punia, you name people like Neeraj Chopra, or the 7 members of the Indian hockey team, even the captain of the Indian hockey team, Manpreet Singh. They are all our students at LPU. So it's not only about academics or research, which a university is known for, or LPU is known for. Now we are also known for creating Olympians. On that particular note, let me go ahead. What can a student expect when he or she comes to the university? When you come to the university, well, previous 2 years have been terrible owing to the pandemic, but now things are looking better, things are looking up, and we expect students on board on the university. So when you come to the university, this is the kind of exposure that you will be getting. This is the exposure we have given to the previous students, and here we go. The year was 2019, and we hosted the 106th edition of the Indian Science Congress, and it was inaugurated by none other than the Prime Minister of the country, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Moving on, His Holiness the Dalai Lama was here a few years back giving away degrees in a convocation ceremony. Similarly, 2 former presidents of India and Afghanistan sharing the same stage, giving away degrees in one of the convocation ceremonies. We had late Shri Arun Jaitley ji, who was the Finance Minister of India. He was here a few years back. He inaugurated a startup school at LPU. Not only politicians, but we also have people like Gauhar Gopal Das, who are intellects, who are spiritual gurus. They also throng the campus and interact with our students, faculty, parents, giving them live sermons. Moving on, people who are associated with the Bollywood, these are the real heroes of our young generation, and they also come to the campus, not only to sing and dance, but also to interact with students and give them the experience of their lives. Same goes for the different sports people. Talking about infrastructure, infrastructure is any education system is incomplete without a proper infrastructure. Let me take you through to our infrastructure inputs that we have got at LPU. This is a marvel of a building, 14 blocks joined back to back, housing the central library of the university. What you're seeing is an aerial view of our auditorium. It's an auditorium with a capacity of 2,500 people in a single court. The heart of the campus, we have got a mall, and it's a 600-acre campus that we have got. And at the epicenter of the mall, epicenter of the campus, we have got a mall. Let me take you inside the mall. This is the sneak peek into the mall, and it's got prominent stores. It's got shops where students can purchase their stuff. What you're seeing right now is the library. That's the central library of the university. Otherwise, we have a library which is dedicated to each department, but this is the central library, and these are all automated libraries that we have got. Moving on, recreational facilities are very important. It's a city by itself, 600 acres worth of city that we have got called LPU, and it's got a lot of recreational facilities, things like bowling alleys and so on and so forth. Well, if you're a health freak, then we also have a fully equipped gymnasium with international trainers of repute. God forbid anybody falls ill, but if somebody falls ill, we are ready. We've got a hospital within the university with resident medical doctors, staff. It's a 25-bedder hospital, even dental chair at your disposal. What you're seeing right now on your screen is an aerial view of our indoor sporting facility that we have got. What you're seeing right now is the all-season Olympic size swimming pool that we have got. So we've got these amenities with us. You name a court, you get it. We've got badminton courts, we've got volleyball courts, we've got basketball courts. We even have a shooting range at your disposal. That's a charismatic view of the university as such, a night vision of the university. So let me just take you online to our website. If any student wants to know about the fee structures, the eligibilities, the scholarships that are being offered, so I'll just take you to the path. I'll transverse the website, which will help you or the attendees or the students to get to know about the eligibilities or the fee structures of the various programs. The first step would be log on to lpu.in. That's our official website. You need to go to admissions. After admissions, if you are an undergraduate student, means after 12, these are the set of programs that you can choose amongst. Or if you are a graduate student and you want to go in for a PG program, a post-graduation program, then these are the set of programs. Today, education is in focus. Today we are talking about education. So let us take a look at the various programs at the PG level in education. So I go to the regular programs after graduation. I go to the regular programs. I click it over here. The page takes me to the next page, which is which will describe all the disciplines that we are offering at LPU. I just a little bit, and at the bottom of the first column we have got education. So I click it over here. So in education, PG level, post-graduation level, we have got an MA in education, we have got B.Ed, and we have got MA. So say for instance, I want to know something about MA education. So I just click in MA education, and this is the eligibility criteria for the program. The eligibility criteria says pass with 50% marks in aggregate in bachelor's degree, any discipline or equivalent. So that is the eligibility criteria. You can search the eligibility criteria for any program in this manner. Now I want to know about the fee structure. So over here is the slider on the top. I just click on the fee. The page automatically scrolls and takes me to the fee structure of the program. Now the fee structure of the program is 50,000 rupees per semester, but that's not the final fee structure. There are a lot of scholarships on offer on this particular program. Let's take an instance that a student has got 80 to 89.99% of marks in 12th, or a student has got 70 to 79.99% of marks in graduation. So either of the two, or student writes our LPU NEST exam, which is the national level exam that LPU conducts. So if a student is amongst the category 3 or the cutoff 3 of this test, so either of the three, a student gets 40% scholarship. The fee goes down to 30,000 per semester rather than 50,000. Next slab, if somebody's got 90 to 94.99 aggregate marks in 12th standard, or somebody has 80 to 89.99 aggregate in graduation, or somebody is amongst the category 2 of our LP Nest exam, there's a flat 50% scholarship and the fee goes down to 25,000 per semester. Similarly, if a student has more than 95% marks in 12th or has 90% or greater than that in graduation, or is amongst the category 1 of our LP Nest exam, then there's a 60% scholarship for such student and the fee goes down to 20,000 per semester. It's worth mentioning over here, dear attendees, that a scholarship these scholarships once administered to a student shall remain the same way throughout the course of the program, that is for the next 2 years or 3 years, whatever might be the duration of the program. What are the other scholarships on offer? Say, for example, we are looking at MA education. So what are the other scholarships on offer? I just click over here, the next button, which says scholarships. I click it over here and it takes me to the various other scholarships that we are offering. So we have already learned about the scholarships on the basis of previous 2 qualifications, scholarship on the basis of LP Nest exam. What are the other scholarships on offer? The other scholarships on offer are sports and culture scholarships. So if students have done exceptionally well in sports or cultural activities or in co-curricular activities, in that particular case, what happens is that the student gets immense great scholarships. Your education could be free, but you just need to send out your certificates of participation or winning certificates, and we'll get back to you the kind of scholarship that we're offering to you on those certificates. What are the other scholarships? These are not scholarships, rather these are financial aids. They are status based. So if somebody is from a very humble background, so if person is from a humble background but is a capable student, so money is not the problem, then we even have scholarships for or we have financial aids for students who are from an economically humble background. So they will be benefited by this particular financial aid, and their fees is slashed. If somebody's parents are in the defense forces like Indian Army, Indian Navy, or any central armed police forces, then there is scholarship for those students as well. There's a cut in the fee that can be as high as 50%. And lastly, financial aid to the person with certain disability. God forbid somebody is disabled, so such a student is also in for a financial aid. The scholarship, the fee is completely waived off. So these are the kind of financial aids and scholarships that we are offering at LPU. So money is not the matter, but if a student is capable, there are a number of scholarships that are on offer. If you want to talk to our counselors, if you want to know more about a specific program, you can always call us on this number. That's 01824 517 000, or you can write to us on admissions@lpu.co.in. You can always visit our website, that's www.lpu.in. I would request all the attendees to take a snapshot of this particular slide. It might be of use for you in the future. With that, I sign off, and back to you, Professor Rishi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj. It was really very quick and insightful. Very informative thing that you have presented over here. And now it's time to thank all the attendees as well as the experts by saying, on behalf of all the attendees of this webinar, I would like to thank all the experts for your insightful presentation. Hopefully the attendees also found this webinar to be valuable enough, and so that they can utilize the information provided in this webinar to help take a better decision regarding their admissions. I am obliged and once again thankful to our experts, Dr. Vijay, Mr. Panjani, and Mr. Pankaj Vij, for strengthening this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you.